live. Alrighty. Door open. Let's do my time card. Oh, we got 2 people. There's 2 people in the chat. Oh, there's 7 people in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. There's 10. Oh, you guys, you're growing faster than I can do my time card. Okay. How's it going, buddy? How was everybody's Wednesday? Who's ready to be halfway through the week? Hey, J-Dog. Oh, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you guys to see me geek out for 20 minutes over all my Amazon stuff that I have attached to all my guns to really go over them. It's so exciting. So, what do we got going on? Who all's in the chat tonight? Let's take a look. America is poop. Cool. Thanks for your opinion. I can probably wipe out your country with just my arsenal. But that's not what I'm going to do. But thank you for your opinion. Wherever that is. Cool. Welcome to the chat. I mean, my personal opinion, like that's kind of how people feel over there. I've been over there a couple times, and generally the people that don't like America, they feel that way because they think their ass is sand. So there's that. It's not pleasant, but I mean, to each their own. I'll take freedom and guns over sand wiping and goat screwing, but that's just me. So Hi guys, hello chat. Welcome to our channel. I'm the Below Average Utah Dad. We just started. We've only been live 5 minutes. We do this every night. Everybody's welcome to come in. We talk guns. We talk politics. We make fun of people that say America's poop. It's really great. That's what happened in the chat. Somebody said America's poop, and I made fun of them. I'm a father of 3, and yes, no, J Dog, no, that is straight, dude. You can Google like where they've got like IR video of them doing that. This is bad. I'm not saying you should, but they do it. Yeah, it's a thing. Let's see. What else do we do here? We talk about guns. We talk about your guns. We talk about constitutional laws. Depending on the country, you know, it's not a super. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. Some dudes are into dudes. Some dudes are into chicks. Some dudes think that they're dudes and they're into chicks that are into dudes that are chicks that are into dudes. Some people are into goats. To each their own. Just not me. So. Oh, dear. Dear. What are we doing? We've got 7 people in the chat. I wonder if I'm starting to burn people out with my nightly streams. I don't really care. Because it's 8:30 and like that gives us a good 2.5 hours to like really slam tonight. It's pretty exciting. We're losing the chat. We're losing the chat. She has to finish it on Friday. She says she feels pretty good about it, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. Hi. That's me. Look, see? The guy in the video? That's me. I'm him. We've got 5 people watching. A whole 5 people. That's okay. 7. We got 7 people online. Who do we got? Is it anyone that normally comes back? Is it our friends? It's okay. I'll still be streaming when you get off. So if you need to vacate, you can vacate, but I think we've lost everyone. Everyone's gone. That's fine. That's fine. I will stroll X. What am I watching? There's a video of somebody who's about to get scope bit with a semi-automatic pistol, I think out of Brazil. Oh, we're back up to 5. We got 5 people. Yeah. Hi guys. Welcome to our stream. Well, it's mine, and for anybody that wants to stick around and have fun, talk about guns, talk about politics, talk about being a sub dad, or at least some people say, "Hey, Josh." Right now, it's basically you, me, and J Dot. I think that's it. Even the guy that called America poop left. The guy that called America poop left. Whatever his name is. Let's see. Oh, yeah. J-Dog, Second Amendment. Hi, chat. Hi, all 6 people. Welcome to our show. Welcome to my show. I say our because we're a community. It's my channel, but everyone is welcome. It doesn't mean everyone like will choose to stay, but everyone is welcome to come here. You can ask me anything you want. Look, there's a lot of guns, um, which is really fun to talk about and answer questions about. I've got my dogs here on the floor. We've got all kinds of fun things that we can talk about. I'm not going to touch my guns. That's correct. Thank you, Josh, for reminding me to tell YouTube. I do not touch my guns during my stream because that's against the rules. And literally, like, it's kind of like divided by zero, but for a YouTube stream, they will shut it down, and then they'll spank me and take away my birthday, which is sad because I like my birthday. So, did anybody watch the State of the Union last night? Or whatever it was? It wasn't the State of the Union, was it? It was it the State of the Union? I can't remember. I didn't watch. Helping my daughter practice math, so there's that. I know some people got angry and left. I'm sure that they were not people that I align myself with, but I mean, I could be surprised. I mean, I'm sure there were some. I'm sure there were a few Republicans that were sweating bullets in there that don't like Trump. And there's always the old reliables. But let's see, we can talk about, for the people in the chat, you really can reach out. Like, it's you can really literally ask me anything, and I will do my best to answer it. Actually, I'm a very forthcoming and open person when it comes to conversations. I like talking to people, especially about guns, about being a dad, about some of the things that I believe in. You can also, if you're worried about what's going to happen in the chat, you can click on my profile and you can go check out some of our welcome videos and our shorts. Most of my content is based on YouTube Shorts because nobody ever seems to want to sit down and watch a video for more than like 17 seconds. I don't know what that says about our society, but I have my theories. Let's see. I am streaming from Utah. I've got some cool maps on the wall people ask about. This one's of China. It's a tactical pilot chart. And this one's of the USSR. And I didn't say that wrong. I literally meant the USSR and Afghanistan. And right here is Mazar-e-Sharif. So, Death got a Chuck Norris experience. Yeah, I'm sure he did. So anyhow, I had a pretty good day. I got a lot of work done. I got to watch some fun cooking videos. I looked at some pricing. Oh, I think I found my next Amazon purchase. I'm pretty excited about it. So, one of the big things, hey, what's going on, Betta? One of the big things I like to do with my guns is I like to put inexpensive Amazon parts on them. As you can see, I have an AR pistol chambered in 9mm, and it has some very bright red anodized parts that I am not ashamed of. I love them. They were inexpensive, and they hold 0, and they look really cool on my AR. Now, some people say they're like a pleb gun. Okay. I'm cool with that. I'll be a pleb. A pleb is nothing to be sad about. The people that called others plebs back in the UK, they were the same ones that said that the peasants couldn't have swords because they were only weapons of war. So they had to have long knives. So the next time you call someone a pleb, just remember that. Not that anyone in the chat now is going to call someone a pleb, because it's Josh and Betta and J-Dog and me. And maybe one person. Maybe one other person. Nope, that's it. Participants wise, I think there's maybe one person who's just floating around who's being sticking in. Oh, I know what it is. I think it might be one of the other accounts. It might be somebody at my house's account. So, anyways, I'm going to, let me see if I can pull it up. See if I can put this in the chat. Oh, dude, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good. Oh, that's why you can't, because it's 800 freaking million things. So if you have access to, there's nothing wrong with being a pleb. I say celebrate being a pleb. I celebrate being a below average dad. If you go onto Amazon and you search that particular tool, I wonder if there's a better way to get to it. Oh, I wonder if it'll let me share this. I'm going to add it to my cart. No, so I'm just going to save it for later. That one looks like it's got a... It's kind of cool. It looks like... Anyways, let's go back to it. But it looks to be like pretty deep quality. I don't know. I mean, it's on Amazon, so I don't know. It's not $1,000, but it is. It's like a $300 knockoff ACOG. So who knows? Cosmic Tactical. It looks like all space agey, man. There's a couple reviews on it. I'm kind of excited to take a look at it. Anyhow, Gladiator is free with ads on YouTube. That's good to know. It's My House on Paramount Plus, and Gladiator 2 is. If you haven't seen Gladiator 2, it's all right. It's not as good as Gladiator 1. It's got more action in it than Gladiator 1. But I don't know that I would necessarily call the action better if you haven't seen Gladiator 2. Yeah, that's something we talk movies. Let's see. I haven't started watching Daredevil yet. I want to watch that. I haven't watched in a while is I haven't watched 13 Hours. I need to watch 13 Hours again. It's like, I really like 13 Hours. Not because it makes me happy. It actually infuriates me every time I watch it. But because it's just such a cool story what those guys did. And it's cool because like Chris Peranto's several times about what happened, and he straight up said things like, yeah, it's when people say it's not accurate, like that's true because it probably isn't accurate enough in terms of how bad it was. So whenever somebody says that it's blown out of proportion, well, according to the dude that was there, it's not blown out of proportion enough. Anyhow, is there anybody new? Is it just us? Is it just the usual suspects on our chat? Yeah, in Benghazi. What happened in Benghazi? It was. Ooh, I gotta mention. So I was earlier tonight was on Facebook on the interwebs, and there's all these posts about all these posts about the State of the Union and all these people that so glad that this person stood up and all these this guy defied and is holding the paddle or whatever, all these things. And there's these guys that post things on there like this guy's got this. He keeps inviting me to watch his page or join his page because I commented once on something and I didn't say something nice. I mean, it wasn't rude. It was just trolling. But it's this Johnny 2 Cents on Facebook. He was a comedian. He's like, I'm happy to hear that my home state of Washington is one of 14 states that have opened a lawsuit against Doge for its unconstitutional nature. And like, he just says stuff. If you actually believe it's by cutting waste and fraud, then I've got an armored Cybertruck to sell you. Let's see. Cool, I'll take it. Let's see. Kim Holstead. Oh, she liked what I said. Yep. I said This guy, Nix Aaron Yes, put up a meme that said, if you can't afford to rent a property at 30% of the renter's income, you can't afford to be a landlord and should learn to live within your means. And my response was, let me just go ask everybody what they can afford, and then I'll buy a house based on that. This other person wrote, your name is really on. So it's not the flex. That's not the diss. I think it is. I wear my. What's it called? I wear my self-realized faults like a badge of honor. Also, not a woke snowflake. Large Utah Dad, or you could choose not to be a parasite. I could. Do you recommend joining the military? I would. Josh, I like being in the military. I've learned a lot myself. I've learned a lot about the reality of the world. I've learned a lot of skills, like a lot of my IT skills, a lot of my shooting skills. I knew how to shoot before I joined the military. I grew up shooting. A lot of my really dark sarcasm that doesn't always hit, but when it does, man, it hits well. It's like you can see into the soul. Yeah. Okay. Gotta keep doing my thing. Oh, how's the night so far? Hey, Repo. It's been slow. It's 24 minutes in, and I think the most we've had is 7 people on the stream. Didn't notice you were in here. I'm sorry. I was typing up a response on my Facebook page. Someone said that I was a parasite, and I told them that it was like they could see into my soul. So that is not true, J-Doc. You can't join the Air Force, but you could join the Army or the Marines. They would have you go through a program where you would obtain your GED. And that would be like before you could be advanced beyond a certain rank, you'd have to go get your GED. But they work with you on doing that, and that would be like part of your training. Maybe not your initial basic, but it would be part of like your regular work training. Is they do like a work study thing that you'd have to report on so that you could go get your GED. So hardest thing to deal with in the military, honestly, it's the people that are actually like kind of opposed to like the concept of the military. The people that join the military and they're like, oh no, I might have to go to war and kill people. It's like, yes. The dude that set himself on fire to protest what's going on in Palestine. Like, don't get me wrong. Go ahead. Exercise your First Amendment. There are a lot of ways you can exercise your First Amendment. You could be a conscientious objector. Go tell your commander that you disagree with everything the military is doing. You're a conscientious objector. Go protest that way. You want to know what you don't do? You don't go out in uniform, cover yourself in gasoline, and light yourself on fire. Because then everybody that's in the military looks at you and goes, "Well, this dumbass." be like, huh? How do you make it through? What? I guess that one slipped through the cracks. That's literally what everybody thinks. Nobody thinks, "Oh man, that guy's a hero." We all look at him and go, "Wow, jackass." Nobody that's in the military didn't look at that and go, huh. I wonder if anybody read his EPR, which is enlisted performance report. Did he file his last travel voucher? No, Gomer Pyle at least he was did something. And I mean he had reason to be upset. This guy's just swallowed the huge Johnson of political propaganda coming out of the Middle East and liberal woke crap, and he was just like, oh, I love the way this Johnson looks. It goes in my mouth and I light myself on fire. That's what he was thinking. They'll remember me forever. None of us know your name, dude. But we all had a laugh. And we did. And the only people that didn't laugh are people that are pathetic. How are you feeling about Red Team winning its ass with Constitution? Did you vote for that? I certainly voted for cutting costs, ending a war, and owning guns. Also, make sure we do this. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, he was a dumbass. Straight, there's not even there's no getting around that. He was a freaking idiot. Thanks, sir. Welcome to our party. How to compare to an Apex trigger? I got a 4-3 Apex triggers. I don't know. Somebody's actually asking me a legit question on X. Good night. Love you.
Love you.
Boop. Somebody's asking me about my triggers that I put on X, so figured I'd respond. What's going on? What's that? I think somebody pulled back their comment that they made. Yep, Jeffrey Lone decided not to comment. That's okay. Oh, so she's going to finish on Friday. She did pretty well, she thinks, but she has a couple more questions left she needs to finish on Friday. Excuse me. Oh, man. Let's see. Did we lose you, Repo? Did you run off on us? It's cool. I'm going to judge you. Thanks, bud. Oh, you're the only one. Oh, that's because Jada's working still. Man, this is kind of fun. This guy's responding. Just over ridiculous that my lightest Christmas trigger came on a gun that cost me $350, including 2 bags and customizable grip plates. I like the triggers I have, but I am also starting a new series of videos on how many Okay. Sorry, everybody on the chat. Repo, I'm curious, which would you prefer to have right now in terms of guns? If someone gifted it to you, hypothetical. I could be Mr. Moneybags and get people their dream guns. If you prefer to have a gun in terms, if someone gifted it to you, hypothetical. If I could have any gun right now, well, I know what most of the chat wants me to get. The chat wants me to get a 50 Action Express, but I want one, but I don't want one that bad. If I could have any gun right now to add to my collection, I really do. I know J-Dog. J-Dog really wants me to get a 50 Action Express, and I told him that when I got monetized, when I had enough money from monetization, then I'd buy a 50 Action Express. You know what I would really, I think the next gun that I'm going to get for my collection is going to get, I think I would get like, not a full-on Benelli, but like a clone, like a Panzer. I think a good tactical shotgun, like with a 16-inch barrel, because obviously I have these guns, but a good, not pump action, but a semi-auto tactical shotgun that's like a Benelli clone, because you can get them for like $300 or $400. And the one that you get, like there's a couple of them that are out there, and actually Tactical Toolbox on YouTube. He's got, maybe I doubt he'll come into the channel because he's huge and I am not. I think that's his name. He's got a pretty cool channel. He did a series where he went over and he did like 6 of these Benelli clones because, like, the whatever, the copyright or IP came up. And we did have Overton Windex. He did come in. I think, I don't know that he subscribed to my channel, but Overton Windex was in here and he was chatting us up. So later, Josh, if you come back on, I'm probably going to be doing this for another 2 hours and then I'll leave the stream up as usual. But he did this whole series where for like 5 or 6 of his videos, Repo, he did these Benelli clones. And he was like, no, they're not a Benelli. But he also explained that, like, to get a full on, like, the exact one that the Marines use, to get it all tricked out the way that Benelli does for the Marines, $3,500. He's like, I can get this clone that's really close in terms of feel and performance and everything for like $150 with all these extra parts on it. Collapsible stock, it comes with a red dot, like the full length tube, like just all kitted out. Really nice with the rails and everything. And he was like, it's like $750 to $1,000. It's like, for 3.5 times less than the Benelli, it's stupid to not consider that. He said, and then you could get like a Panzer it's pretty basic. It's got a fixed stock. You can pay for a collapsible stock, but it's cheaper to just buy one and put it on yourself, he says. That doesn't have an upgraded trigger, but it's got the rail on it. It's got the longer tube and everything like that. The M4 Panzer. And I don't know. What are the laws in Saudi, bud? Faisal, I don't know what the laws are in Saudi. And unlike what some people think, you can't just like you can't just like get a gun for free in America. It's not as easy as everybody makes it out to be. But whatever the laws are in Saudi Arabia, I would suggest following the laws in Saudi Arabia. Dude, yeah, and it's supposed to be really, 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 really smooth and fun to shoot and everything. J Dog, come on. Don't give him a minute. Give him a minute. Like he didn't start off, he didn't post a message that said American flag poop. Let's give him a chance. If he wants to do that, then you guys can let loose. So, hey, what's going on, Chitty? Dude, I had to like go find that dude from last night. I had to go find his profile and report him. He was definitely like, okay. Yeah, I reported him to Facebook and I took some shots and everything. That was freaking weird. I was like, this is not the channel to do that in. One, it's a bunch of dudes that are super into guns. Two, you literally just said that to a guy. It was like, really? Oh, Jay Chitty got his 300. We'll have to tell. We'll see if Tactical Civilian gets on, and we'll talk to him. Let him know he's working on his video. It's supposed to launch weekend. His 300 Jackal. So I almost asked him. I was like, yeah, what's your address? But yeah. So let me see if I can find one real quick. Let's go classic firearms. Let's go 24 Panzer. I am over 18. I'm not gonna do that. I think that's going to be too long for the chat. Oh, there we go. There you go, Repo. If you're still on. If you are still here, Repo, there's the link. Did we lose you? No, it says you're still in here. Maybe. Maybe. So, I actually think that both my A2 bird cages that are on my 9mm and my other one, I think they might have. I think they have the clips where you could put a suppressor on it. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's like they do, Chitty. That's the Panzer one. And again, you'd have to find the link to, that's the more expensive one. That's the $600 one. But they've got some for shoot under like 450. Those Panzer arms, and they're not bad. Everything I've heard is that they're pretty darn good for what you pay for them, and I have a PPKS from 2004 XD grips on it and was imported by Smith & Wesson, so I have that stamped on it. So you have Parkerizing it since they are stainless steel, I think. Go for it, dude. Go for the, or I would do like, I would love to get like another 9 mil defense weapon, like pistol, small pistol caliber carbine, but I want to get one that's more delayed. So whether that's like a SP9A3, like a Strybog, or something, another AR that uses like Glock mags that has roller or radial delay. So yeah. Yeah, I've shot that 4010 that has like, it's like 18+1, has the threaded barrel, has that dot on it. I've shot that. It's pretty smooth. I just think that, like, don't get me wrong. I know that all my stuff is like home built and it's very, very inexpensive in terms of like how much you could pay for stuff. But I really like I like that, but there's something to be said about spending the money on something like an FN or a Colt, um, or a Staccato or whatever. Like there's a lot that can be said about spending that money, and it's not that I have anything against it. It's just I can do a lot more with less dollars. Is it the same quality? Like, I'm not even gonna argue that it's not the same quality. I know my daggers aren't as good as some of the custom Glocks, Glock clones that are out there. But kind of like I say in some of my videos with like Amazon stuff, it's, I can pay this much money and get a gun that works this well, or I can pay this much money and get a gun that works that well. So no, it doesn't work that well, but I spend this much money, this much money. So I'm a pretty firm believer in being smart with your money, especially when it comes to your guns. Like just being cautious and being very value minded. Yes. There we go. I've never shot a 509C. A suppressor in that 545, but I got a Deagle instead. It was a hard decision. I'm not smart with my money. No, you are not, J Dog. Not even gonna. Yeah, but you should buy the Saber Lancet when it drops in PSA. Most affordable, 50K. Oh, the rifle. So PSA is building. It's like a skeletonized PSA Barrett. I'm gonna wait and see how other people's go first. Don't know that I'm ready to be like, I get it for like, it's like It's like 1900 or 2000. It's pretty inexpensive for a Barrett clone, but I'm gonna let other people shoot it first before I shoot it. Yeah, I don't know that he's going to. his his personal experience with bro what? It's a jammer chat. Man. Yeah, I want that. I just Googled it. A PSA 10 shot 50 BMG is kind of tearing. Like, there's a reason a Barrett costs 10 grand. It won't blow up on you. That's not always true, depending on the ammo. Just saying. I may or may not have seen a Barrett not in one piece. There may have been extenuating circumstances as to why. Oh man, 3 jobs and you will can't win that thing. Win can't and you will can't win. That sucks. Oh boy, Josh is so obsessed with me. Not just you. Barrett is so expensive because of the name. It's all right, especially because AAC promised to make 50. That's true. I think that will actually be good overall. If AAC, because I mean, obviously AAC is, um, it's owned by the same whatever company that PSA is in. Hey, did I tell you guys? I haven't seen Joe. I think he dropped out of the Discord. I think he legit like unsubscribed and decided because I was like not saying Sig was absolute dog poo poo. Like I get they've had their issues in the past, but again, I've handled and shot plenty of them from different batches and different serial numbers and never run into an issue. So I think he did. There are yeah. It yeah, and like he was pretty fun to have on the channel. He was good for a laugh and it was nice, but like I'm definitely not one of those like I think everybody is that's been here on the channel long enough knows. So I've been doing these streams for what 2 weeks now, 2 3 weeks now, and I think everybody's kind of picked up. Like I'm I'm not a fan of like pooping on our own community. I really don't like it. I've made videos about how I can't stand when people do that. And so to sit there and like, oh man, you need to go get rid of all your gun. That's the worst gun in the world to like everybody that gives me crap about my Amazon stuff. I just laugh and I'm like, well, it works great, so I'm just gonna stick with it. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. Like no one's saying you have to be here. But I'm probably one of the most chill YouTubers, and I'll talk with you and I'll have conversations and I won't, you know. Yeah, and I get like poking fun, you know. You guys poke fun at some of my stuff, and I poke fun. Like we all poke fun at J Dog because he's got a gun that he's not able to shoot because every time he does, he has to go freaking like donate money. But um, yeah, like that's part of our culture, having fun. But it's another thing when it starts to become like just kind of being belligerent about like if you don't agree with them, then there's something wrong with you. I knew it would. I did that. I targeted you. I'm trying to offend you. Exactly. Like, yeah, and so that's what I mean. That's why like I'd make my statements like always carry around in the chamber. Is that the correct answer for 100% of users? No. It's the correct answer for like 98.5% of users. The other 1.5% have a very like maybe they own a pistol that's too small for their hands, and so carrying one in the chamber with the safety on because it only has an external safety. It doesn't have. It's not a strike fire. You know, maybe there are reasons why it doesn't do it. That's a completely different conversation. Maybe you can't afford a pistol and you maybe you already own a shotgun. Like I've said this many times in my streams and videos. Like the best weapon for someone to own for home defense or for whatever purpose they use is to like is the best weapon is the one that you can become proficient with. And that means you can afford to buy it and afford to buy the ammo and the range time if you have to go to and practice and become good and not, you know, suck it. Because if you're using a shotgun, if you're using a 9mm, if you shoot and you miss, that bullet's going through the wall. Because that's what we all say we're practicing for is that hopeful never happen scenario where somebody breaks in or we're out in public and somebody starts doing something crazy and I put one in them. You better hit because you're a liability and you're gonna like they're gonna take you to town if you miss and hurt somebody on accident. So be proficient and get that shit dialed in. Yeah. But that's what I mean is like repo. That's exactly what I mean is like 98% of all guns, 99% of all guns that have existed guns can be carried with one in the chamber. There is a way to confidently do it safely. There are few circumstances, maybe that's not the case, but they are few and far between. Yeah, I definitely don't keep mine in an article of clothing that's usually on or around me ever. It sits on my nightstand because you cannot handle or transport or move a firearm on a live stream. I mean, like I have, I've got these ARs down here. I have stuff. Oh yeah, I can't go near any of the guns, dude. Um, can't touch them. I actually later found out in my video that comes out tomorrow. I talk about that, but I found out the reason that they don't allow it. It's been that way for a while. So I guess there have been people that have like unalived themselves on live streams. So I get why they choose to not do that. just clarify in the start of video next time that it's just a green screen background. Snecko and Charlie, that. Oh, I have Snecko. He's here. Or Snecky. Come here, Snecky. Boom. Got Sneck. He's there. Gosh dang it. Maybe I'll wear. Let's put Snecky around our neck for a little bit. Yeah. We got ourselves a Snecky. I'm a snack. I'm a snack. Yeah, it's and I know that there's some platforms that let you have stuff. Hold on just a second. Hey, who's in the bathroom? Riley? What? Are you in the bathroom? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Okay. Why does Nico get away with it? But yeah, it's so I get it. I get why, in order to avoid any liability of accidentally showing someone off themselves, like I get it. I don't agree with it necessarily, but I understand it. It's kind of like the guy on X today. I commented because Gifford said something about Trump cares about children. If he really did, he would do more to stop the number one cause of death being guns among children. And I was like, the number one cause of death isn't children, it's accidents. And this guy got on and he's like, actually, if you go to this website and you go to the CDC and he showed me all these things, it's like, if you select firearm, so technically between the ages of 2 and 17, because of the ages 14 through 17, the number one cause of death between 14 and 17-year-olds is firearms, but only due to homicide and suicide. So like it became this whole thing with this guy, and I was like, look, if you're going to say the number one cause of death is firearms, you need to make sure that you're saying the number one intentional cause of death is firearms, because homicide is intentional, suicide is intentional. There's a reason that like people that don't use firearms to unalive themselves is exactly, and they'll never allow it like that. But yeah, going back to the unalive thing and firearms being the number one cause of death. Again, it's, can you really say that like intentional, when someone is committing homicide or someone is committing self-homicide, can you rightfully list that as a statistic saying that it's the number one cause of death, because it's not the item that's saying the death. Someone's targeting them, and whether it's themselves or gang violence or whatever, if it's a homicide, like that person was targeted. They didn't have any choice in it. Suicide, they made the choice themselves. So if we were talking about accidental firearm deaths, if we're talking about accidental deaths, unintended deaths, then it's not even close. And it only becomes that because of the specific age group and specific intent behind that. So that's a fun. Next time you hear somebody talk about firearms being the number one cause of death, that's not entirely accurate. There's a reason that it's not entirely accurate. There's a reason they always lump in 18 and 9-year-olds. Yes, I am fully aware, J-Dog. Fully aware. Throw my gum up here. Actually, I've got a trash can. Throw my gum in. 14 pieces of gum. Actually, I'm going to take this off. I pretty much wear that all day for obvious reasons. And by the end of the day, like my back and my neck start to hurt a little bit, because it's not intended for what it's for. It just is what I have, and it's what I use. I don't want to get something that's all tacked out. Minnesota's pretty bad. I know Minnesota's pretty bad. Illinois is bad. Connecticut is absolutely awful. Maryland is awful. New York is bad, but not as bad as some people think. Nevada's is okay. New Mexico is absolutely awful. California, Oregon, and Washington are awful. New Jersey's really bad. Maine's not bad. New Hampshire sucks, and Vermont is really pretty good. Which is really weird because they're right next to each other. But, man. Sorry, I'm going to refresh my stream. Okay. Yeah, you could do that. The love free or yeah, live the yeah, Utah and Texas, like they're pretty good, but there's some things about Utah and Texas. Huzzmaster. I'm doing great. Welcome to our live stream. We do this pretty much at night. You did comment on my video. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Fun V. I don't know if you've been to streams before, but this is these are some of my tools of the trade. I cannot touch them on a live stream, so if you want to see me touch them and treat them with fondliness, you have to watch the videos. But we've just been talking about, like, if you could own like any gun, like what my next gun would be, and then just kind of gun laws and the rules of YouTube and things like that. So yeah, not fondness, fondliness. That's right. You're gonna use that later. You're gonna use fondliness. I treat my girlfriend with fondliness. Use that. My my wife gets mad when I call her my ex-girlfriend. So no problem. Hey, drive safe, bud. And I'll say things like that. Why don't you let me treat you with fondliness? And she'll stop and look at me and give me a dirty look. I drink more water. Been talking for an hour straight. So, was everybody able to? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try again. All right. If everybody doesn't mind, try taking a look at this. This is the. You know who's not on? It's Corey. That's weird. Corey's usually on. I mean, we're an hour into it and Corey's not on. That's a little. Maybe he's working. Maybe he's stoned. He might be stoned. I don't condone using drugs, but also you do you. So I want to make sure YouTube is aware. I do not support using drugs, but I'm also not going to tell somebody that they aren't an adult and can't make their own decisions. Huge fan of the use of them along with the ownership and guns, but I guess, to each their own. So if you guys want to check out that link that I just posted in Amazon, that's the next Amazon accessory I'm thinking of putting out. I know there's some reviews on it on YouTube, but I kind of think I want to get one, and then either spray paint it red, like anodized metallic red, like my oh yeah, like that puppy, or I don't know, pink, and then throwing it on top of one of the other ARs or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should do it? Do you think I should make that my next purchase? Animal abuse is next because of snack. Yeah, because I wear them around my neck like a piece of jewelry. Our Snecky. Yeah, I'm thinking pink or purple or red, and then I'll just swap it back and forth between, I'll mark like on my ARs. I'll do the white the white grease pencil or whatever on the AR, so that wherever I mount it, I know where to mount it once it's sighted in for each of them, and then that way I can just swap it between them just to piss people off. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to get people really riled up about the fact that I own guns, and I don't baby them, but I also, I don't put really expensive stuff on them. So I don't really care. Let's see. Sorry, I'm checking. I've got respond on my other socials trying to. Just for fun. So, who all? So we got Huzmaster that's in here now. Who else do we got it? Josh is still here. J Dog's here. Well, J Dog's driving. Chitty is probably here, just being quiet. Repo's here being quiet. Oh, there we go. See? Speak of the devil. There he is. We were just talking about you. Dude, I've been talking for an hour and Corey hasn't popped in and said something sarcastic or about weed. So he's either stoned or he might have died. So, yeah, you missed out on a little bit, Corey. We were talking about guns, because we don't ever do that. The bacon looked like taquitos. It did. It's because I bake my bacon. You want to bet, sis?
Yeah.
Okay, I will try to be quiet.
All right.
I'll
probably be up for a little bit because I have to pack my bag next day and stuff.
Okay.
So
were you able to get that TV taken care of, or did you need help doing that?
No, I've got it.
You got everything switched out, so you're not watching stuff.
Oh no, I haven't done that yet. I just meant I'll do it later.
Oh, gotta get okay.
Okay. I'll just come in when I'm going to bed.
Okay. So, hey, thanks for stopping by, Huz. Feel free to continue to check things out and stop by anytime. What's up, Corey? Who else? We got 9 people in the chat, or 9 people watching the stream, and nobody's chatting. People that are watching, spectators, would you like to join our conversation? You absolutely can. We will not be mean. We will not ridicule you. I am a very open person. I'll talk to you about what it's like being a dad. I'll talk to you about my guns in the ground. I'll I was buying a bot to rust blue. What I miss? Buying a pot to rust blue. Nothing has changed except he's now in the chat. So Corey did join us. Dude, Diddy. Where's the best place to get a steak in Utah? Do you want it to be good, or do you want it to be inexpensive and taste all right? I'm gonna say, you think it's Applebee's? I do not. Twigs has a pretty good steak at Farmington Station. You go there, it's like $45 for the steak, but Twigs has a pretty good steak. And the place next to it, it's called Firefish. It's like a grill. You can get a steak sandwich, and it's like $25, and it's like a pretty decent New York strip. And it's like it's like that big. It's not huge, but it's a pretty well made New York strip, and it's an open face sandwich. I haven't had the Bourbon Street. That was a little weird, Repo. I mean, it's hit and miss. I think sometimes you get that guy that knows how to cook meat that works at Golden Corral, and you get that, then it's pretty nice because you can go and you can just get steak after steak after steak and it's gonna hit well. But then there's also the dude that like, he's never had steak before in his life. Honestly, dude, Corey, if you can get the prime rib, um, Texas Roadhouse's prime rib is pretty damn good. Like it's pretty tough to mess up prime rib, and if you don't eat it all at the place, you just take it home and you throw it in a you throw a cast iron with some butter and then turn it into like a regular steak afterwards. It's good. I am a rare to I'm a medium rare to rare. Closer to the medium rare, but I don't mind rare. But I've eaten raw steak before, so I mean like I've done like tartare and I've done like thin sliced wagyu that you just eat raw. Like I've done that. It's good. Since I'm mostly missing always well done, really well done, or almost blue rare. I actually I cook most of my own steak, guys. I like dry aged beef I dry age and wet age beef in my outside fridge in my garage. And then I smoke it. I smoke it at like 175 for like 20 minutes, and then I have a pit boss, and so it's got the little thing where I can move it to the side and then use the little pellet furnace, and it's like over coals. So I do, and I almost always like whatever I cook, whatever I'm done drying or wet aging, I'll air brine for at least like 12 hours, and then I do my forward sear where I smoke it and then I sear the sides. So, and I like flat iron steak. I think flat iron steak is probably my favorite steak, just because I don't get it very often, and uh it's just a different cut, but it's really good. So I really like flat iron steak, and I really like picanha. I really like picanha. I'll go to Costco and I'll buy a whole thing of like three or picanha roasts, and then I'll put them in their own vacuum bag. I'll season them, put them in their own vacuum bag, and I'll leave them in my fridge for like 3.5 months and just wet age and enzymes and do their thing, and then pull them out and make them into like a prime rib, but out of picanha, and then slice it like real thin. I don't know how to take that, Josh. Not sure if you're being cannibalistic, sexual, or talking about a cow, like an actual cow. I'm sorry, Chitty. I'm sorry. Oh, I was gonna say, do you do like 3 day fasts? You do like liquid fasts, and then you do like a smorgasbord like every fourth day or something like that? Say, because I've done stuff like that. And what I do now, it definitely takes a lot longer, but it's much more satisfying. I'm not. I mean, I usually eat one meal, sometimes two a day. I I just what I want on the weekends, but then during the week I don't, and it works. You know, where did I crash, dude? Josh, are you asking why I said cannibalistic? You literally said, "I bet my neighbor tastes good." That was the last thing you wrote. So I said, I'm not sure if you're being cannibalistic, sexual, or you're talking about a cow. Repo. It depends on where I crash. I like up in Alaska and having done some stuff back from a trip in Alaska and Canadian wilderness. I don't need to eat any bodies. I can find food. I can make a weapon. If I survived a plane crash and there's plane resources there in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I also lived in Arizona for 6 years, so I, dude, it's unfair. I've done so much of that. I've done so much of the like gone out and done like 1 or 2 days in the wilderness. Like I let people know when I do it, but I've done stuff like that and just to test myself and then also just to kind of have some of that preparedness. Um, it just yeah, not I mean not to the extent that Bear Grylls does because some of it's a little outlandish, but like the dual more like the dual survival stuff. Remember all those shows are they're super scripted. Everything's really well planned out, but um maybe like the man versus wild kind of thing out for like 3 or 4 days. I've done like one or two on my own, but I always like I would always do like a GPS ping. Here's where my car is. I'm going to be within 2 miles of my car because if anything happened, I wanted to get to my car. And I didn't climb into any caves without rope or anything like that. Yeah, that's actually not a good idea. There are so many more efficient ways to Survivor Man. Survivor Man, the dude that went out with just the camera, that was a lot less scripted. He did have like it's his camera the whole time, but he does have crew on site. And the only reason I know that is because I met Lundeen once in Arizona. I was at this like conference. Um, the first two guys that did dual survival, they were probably the most like it was still scripted, but they were probably the most genuine in it. Um, the Naked and Afraid folks, like I like it Afraid, but it's not as raw as it appears. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he's got there's crew that's nearby. Hey, stand by. I need to go. I think I got some kids that are going to bed. Let me go. Let me go do my dad thing. Ash, go. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry. Had to. Oh, had to carry a kid down to bed, let the dogs out, get a snack. Segwaying and shooting targets. I think that would be a fun one. No, I did not go to bed. Four is normally around the time your body stops producing. Yeah, I would start with airsoft. Corey, on that one. No, I didn't think I was going to be gone that long, but my youngest, she fell asleep out, so I had to carry her down, and then she was a little sad that it was time for bed, and that's all right. That's all right. It's a good conversation. So, yeah, let me see any of this. F Israel. People are stupid. So stupid. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on. I've had quite a few people like reach out to me on all my different socials today, so. Alrighty. Oh, nice. Chitty. Yeah, yes, for chatting. Yeah, cooking steaks. You sleep hardest after crying. Sure. I think I sleep hardest after something else, but I guess crying might be involved. Just depends on how it went. Stupid. I'm not afraid to admit that if you're going to be done, motto. Better be tough. Who casting nets? My phone died.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go to bed. I can't hear you though, so I think you're.
Okay. Alrighty.
Love you.
Yes, I saw your comment about the Segway, Corey. We all said that you should do it with airsoft first. Ooh. I'm gonna say something controversial. I like country style ribs that aren't truly ribs. I like boneless country style ribs because you can just cook them, eat them. Especially when they got a nice fat in the middle, so it's almost like a piece of pork belly. Country style ribs. Boneless ribs are my favorite. The blasphemy, sir. Corey, go watch Here Comes the Boo. feel like that. It's a good one. I do so because I really like my smoker, but um, I think I like country style because you get more and they're pretty forgiving. Like, don't get me wrong, really good ribs are really good ribs, but I think that's why I like country styles because they're just they're kind of easy to cook and they still taste really good and they're forgiving if you do a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Repo. The one about two straight dudes that pretend to be gay. Yeah, that sounds like something you would think is gold, Corey. It sounds like it's right up your alley. Yeah, it sounds good. Um, so like, I don't know, like okay, so I really brisket. No, I have seen it. I know why they get married. They legally get married so that they can get like tax breaks and stuff. I know. And it's funny, it's just not my favorite. I like Here Comes the Boom. I don't know that that's my favorite Kevin James movie, but it's one of my favorites. Um, all right. Good night, Chitty. Oh, what was I saying? So like I really like brisket, but one of my favorite things to cook, uh, that isn't brisket, it's like small brisket, like a good cross rib roast. If you can cook, like you can get a cross rib roast and you can brine it and get it seasoned well and then you smoke it. It doesn't take as long as a brisket, but man, that thing slaps like it slaps almost as good as a brisket. We will probably be on tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow I'm gonna try to coordinate. Tomorrow we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna see if I can stream. Uh, if I can tap into Second Syndicate with Spartan Defense, I'm gonna reach out to them, see if they'll let me do a thing from them because they've got the whole thing with Colorado, and I'm one. I've become pretty good friends with them, and I'm a big fan of what they do. So I wanna do their and see if they'll let me do that if I can tie into to their stuff. So that would be good. I think that would be good for everybody in on my channel because I have a different set of folks that watch my channel that watch theirs. So I think it'll be good for the people that watch my channel, and I think it'd be good for their channel because I draw in a whole bunch of different viewers for them because they're much more serious than I am. They've started doing a little bit more comedy stuff on their channel, but I think they're seeing the benefit of doing. Yeah, don't do that. From Olive Garden, Zuppa Toscana from Olive Garden. Dude, it's all about the chicken and gnocchi. It's all about the chicken and gnocchi soup. If there is another soup that is worthwhile, and that I do have a Meta Quest. So I do have a Meta. I could maybe do that with. So I told my son that we would once I get multi-streaming set up properly, because I downloaded the software to do multi-streams today. I need to get a couple more. I need to get a cameras set up so that I can do multi-stream, so that I can have different angles and control it. But then I can feed the different sources. I don't know if my laptop is going to handle it. I only have a 3060 in my laptop, so I don't know if it's going to be able to process everything. Funny enough, like my computer that I tore apart for my son so that he could get a new computer. My graphics card, while it's not the best gaming graphics card, it's very good at multitasking and pulling things. Am I KKK? I am not. Are you? Why do you think I'm KKK? It's a stuffed animal, bud. Yeah, I Repo, my laptop is an Alienware M14. It's got a 12700H and a 3060. So, Cypher, are you still here? I genuinely want to know, like, did he just drop in to say, "Are you KKK" and drop out, or did he want an answer? I'm not sure. Maybe that's some teenage a white dude with guns and a stuffed animal around his neck. I hope he's still here. I'd like to talk to him. Cypher, are you still in our chat? If you're here, it's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not KKK. Like we can chat. Yeah. Oh, I can play. It's fine. It's the it's the bit rate of the encoder when you stream to, like, because what I want to do is I'm going to be streaming probably Twitch or streaming from my PS4 or my PS5 onto the onto the channel, and doing that through OBS. So the encoder, that if you're familiar with streaming, the encoder might struggle to do a stream onto Twitch, also onto YouTube, and if I can multi, want to do Twitter and Facebook or X and Facebook as well. So that plus play the game remotely through my laptop through the PS5. So that's what yeah. My sons could probably do it, and then I just helped him build, because we just in the live stream I did the other night with him on Saturday night, we built. He took my motherboard, but he bought a Ryzen 7 5800 XT, and we paired that with 32 gigs of 3600 RAM. He's got a couple of solid states. He's got like 3 solid hard drives, and he's got an RX 6800. So he's got a pretty beefy machine now. Airwick, what's my favorite game to play? So my favorite game is probably Final Fantasy 14. I've been playing it the longest. It's an online game. It's my favorite Call of Duty game. The original Call of Duty Modern 2. So his workstation, his old computer, his old gaming was my workstation. It was a dual CPU Xeon. If you guys get into Final Fantasy 14, like, I am down. I can carry. I don't have the newest one yet, but I'm almost done with whatever's before Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail latest expansion. And it's not Shadowbringers. It's after Shadowbringers. Dang it, I can't remember. But I'm almost done with the previous expansion. I played lots of League. I have lots of Smite. I used to play Paragon when it was out. My son and I, our go-to right now is Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy. I can't remember. Dude, it was like 10 years ago when I played League. Corey, we're not going to play RuneScape. I'm sorry, bud. It's just not our thing. I believe you, but I'd rather, if I was going to play an MMORPG, I'm either going to play Final Fantasy 14 or I'm going to play Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm going to play one of those two. Because one has an amazing UI and experience and community, and the other one is Star Wars. I've played RuneScape. What about horror games? Probably Dead Space. I've played all the... Later, Josh. I know I have a bunch of games on, like, my Epic and my Steam and my PlayStation. I have so many games that I get because I have subscriptions to everything. So... But yeah, one of the things that my son and I have talked about is doing live stream games. Maybe, I don't know. That would be interesting. Mm, so here's my problem with VR games. I think they either need to be cartoonishly unreal or they need to be something that is, like Beat Saber, where it's not so incredibly engrossed that you can differentiate. Because I think when it becomes too realistic, um, I think that's bad. Because if it's not a clear delineation between, as my psychology side coming out, I think if it's not a clear delineation of reality and what's not, there are already people that have trouble like separating themselves from that world, making it more realistic probably is. I think it can be very useful in real world applications. Like I've worked on projects where we've built, um, where we've done like a 3D map of something, 3D blueprint that you can see and touch and feel, and you can expand like what it looks like. I've done stuff like that. It's really cool. So it used like a different type of Oculus, um, or some other VR set. Honestly, like we have an Oculus 2, but I think I'm gonna get like a I think I'm gonna get like a PlayStation VR 2 for my PS5. But I don't know. The PlayStation 6 is supposed to come out like in 2027 is what I heard. Yeah, I know that they do that like in Ukraine and stuff. They do some of those things where they have like a universal headset that they can attach to multiple drones, and that way they can do like drone swarming. So I have a PS5 and a PS4. My son uses the PS4. Dude, I'm an IT guy. We have all kinds of stupid equipment. I've got my laptop here. I've got two work laptops. I've got another one in another bag, or sorry, three work laptops. I'm my my screen, my second screen is a 55-inch TV.